state, Mr. Donnie, that the mayor and all four aldermen are present. First item on the agenda is reviewing the minutes of the previous meeting on November 14th. Any additions or corrections to them? If not, they'll stand approved as printed. Next is the financial statement for November. Show total revenue of $456,388.86. Total expenses for the month of $167,896.74. We were in the black of $288,492.12. Water department was a revenue of $188,292.92. Excuse me, and expenses were $211,000 for the month, which was in the red about $20,000. Biggest thing, the grant expense, $101,000, and we've not received about $27,000 for that. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape with the water. Do I hear a motion to approve the financial statements?
Motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Alderman Culver, second by Alderman Parton to approve the financial statement. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the reports from the various departments. Police department had 972 calls for the month. The fire department 51, with 6 of those being fires. The buildings, $700 collected in fees for the month. And total calls for the water department, $119 calls, and $27, 27% water lossage fee. Any questions on the departmental reports? Do you hear a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Alderman Sanders, second by Alderman Parton to approve the financial statement, the departmental reports. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, first item on the agenda is appointment of a city administrator. This time, I'd like to, according to the codes, place the name of Rex Clark before you as city administrator at a salary agreed upon by the alderman several months ago, $47,500. Do I hear a second to that, or motion to that recommendation?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Alderman Sanders. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Point of information,
Second.
there is a qualification that he does not have. According to your book of codes, your handbook, he is not qualified.
That's the charter overrules the handbook.
What are you talking about?
One of the qualifications, he is not qualified.
What?
Well, explain
A
it.
degree, a degree.
He has a bachelor's of university studies degree, which is the same thing as public administration in Murfreesboro at that time.
No, it's not.
It was at that time.
No, it's not. It's not what Murfreesboro has on their website as the degree.
In 1988.
It's not what it's,
In 1988.
it's not what's on there today.
You can't go over today.
Okay, but that's it.
Okay?
Alderman, I want to say that he don't have the experience. And you've done made a motion because you got with it quick there, didn't you?
No
And
motion.
that's all right, but I was gonna make a motion. So go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
Well, before
But he don't have the experience to be a city administrator.
I call 23 years in management at Prescott Bottling Company, quite a bit of experience, Roy.
What was he managing? He wasn't managing a city.
35 employees.
Well, I don't
call
care
it.
what, it
Well,
wasn't a city.
This is a up and down
You
vote
know
on
what
this.
we went through, you know what you went through, and, do you think he can handle it?
Wouldn't nominate him.
And why are you putting us back into that? And another thing, you are not supposed to hire a city administrator when you've got one already on the payroll, and you've still got one on the payroll.
Effective, I left that out, but I'll add that, if it's all right, January 4th. but we've got to have an administrator.
Well,
Well,
but you've got him. You told him to leave. You can handle it.
How many months has Mr. Foster been on the payroll?
That has nothing to do with this.
It does, he's still on the
He's
payroll.
still on the payroll, and according
Yes.
to the,
And this one will not be put on
Handbook
the payroll to January 4th.
Well, he's already on there, he was writing his name down, you was giving him $200 a month.
Mr. Smith, he
Did
has
you do
received a check 1 month,
Yeah, and we disapproved.
and yes, and that's the only
And
one he's
boy, did you have a duck.
because it was in the budget, sir. That has nothing to do with it. Does anybody want to call for the question?
As far, hold on,
Call for the
I
vote.
don't care what you do.
Dennis, call for the vote.
Don,
They
you
have a
told
right to
Robin
question.
that you
Robert's
weren't
rules of
gonna be
order, they
here.
have a right to question.
No, not on
That's
this. This is up and down vote.
No, it's not.
They
Don,
We've
have
done
a right
hash
to
this.
question.
We've done hash
Robert's rules of order, they have a right to question.
He's called for the question, and Don seconded.
we're not gonna
We're
do
gonna
that.
vote on the question.
absolutely not. Don,
Don,
you told, now you hush.
Flossie, am I
No.
going by Robert's rules and order? He's called for the question, and there's been a second to call for the question.
Now,
We have to vote on to stop debate, am I
You're
right?
ramming this through. You're ramming
Call
it
for the
through.
question is a call for the vote.
well, that's good. You get the lawyer over here every time you want somebody to back you up on something. That's great. What a mayor.
There is
Don,
supposed to
you
be
told
a
Robin
discussion.
that you weren't gonna be
Dennis.
here when we had these interviews.
Dennis, I've
And you
called for the
came
vote.
in, no, you ain't calling for the vote. And you came in, Don.
Carl, you're out of order.
All right, I'm out of order.
Call for the
Don,
vote.
you came in, you came in when we had one,
Mayor Smith,
Aye.
Alderman
you don't
Karl.
vote till there's a tie.
No, I do not. The mayor has a right to vote. Right there.
No, I
It does
gotta
not say,
vote.
it does
You're
not,
always
it
gotta
does
vote.
not say a
You
thing
say
about
there's
a
a
tie.
tie, and I'm gonna break it.
Right here, there's nothing about a tie in there. I have a vote to vote any personnel matter,
What a
Carl.
joke you are.
Carl,
You are a joke.
are you gonna
Call
vote
for
or
the
not?
question.
Are you gonna vote or
I'm
not?
not gonna vote
Finish.
on that. Me and Roy wanna vote.
nay.
Alderman Smith,
Motion carries 3-2.
And how in the world, Dennis, how in the world can you spell Dottie Smith, D-O-T-T-I-E-S-M-I-T-H?
It was a
She's here. We don't have to worry
typographical.
about that.
Typographical.
Number
That shows
two.
how much you check.
Number 2.
I'll file, never mind, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
Number 2. Appointment of city judge. We've had 2 people to volunteer for that. One is Janet Songer and the other Robbie Davis. What's the will of the,
Have you checked her out? Is she, are they qualified?
they're lawyers. That's what they gotta be. Flossie said either one of them would be, and so did Clint Swafford.
Well, Christopher, I'm glad you're gonna be the mayor
If
once
they are,
again.
if
Carl, let me just tell you
Sit
something.
down,
You will
Christopher.
not talk about my father like
Sit
that
down,
in front of
Christopher.
Oh,
me.
I'll talk about him any way I want to.
Michelle, give me a policeman right now.
I'm done with you. I'm sick of you, Carl
I've never
Smith.
had anything to do with you.
Kenneth, I want him escorted out of here.
You want Carl, let's go
Yes.
down?
Carl,
I'm not gonna say anything.
okay, he wants you gone, so come up on me if you don't mind. I'm gonna try to be nice to you.
Oh, other words, just be,
You're acting ridiculous, Carl.
no, you're the one that's acting ridiculous. What a joke.
Mr. Davis, has anything been done illegal?
Beg your pardon?
Conducting this meeting?
I'm sorry, I couldn't,
Has anything been done wrong in conducting this meeting so far?
not so far. I hadn't heard all the votes yet.
Well, let's vote.
We've done voting.
Mayor Smith, do you want to stay around for the vote, or you want him to go?
Well, what does the lawyer say?
If he can sit up here and make outbursts to everybody,
Oh, I'm not gonna say anything more to you. I've already said.
I'm
all
talking
I
about the
want to.
public, Carl.
Huh? In other words, you're denying me, the vice mayor, to sit up here for the rest of the meeting.
Acting the way you are.
I told you I wasn't gonna say anything more to you.
Then sit down up here.
Well, thank you.
Next is appointment of the city judge. Do we have a motion or a second who to approve?
Motion approved, Mr. Davis.
Do I hear a second?
Have we set a salary on that? Have we said what we're gonna pay?
We said, was it 100, 200? No, people agreed with 200, that's what we could get them for. Nobody would, and they're the only two people, I went down the book called that expressed
Yeah, I don't
interest.
know either one of them.
Yeah.
It's fine with me, it's
Point of order, Mayor. We cannot hear you.
Okay. Either one of them are all right, but Mr., well, 3 or 4 that we talked about, I called, and nobody wants to do it. And we gotta have one in place by a month from tomorrow night, because they've even got a docket set. Okay. Motion's been made to approve Mr. Davis. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Seconded by, motion by Alderman Sanders, seconded by Alderman Parton. Need to do a roll call vote on that, Mr. Donnie, since that's a personnel issue. And it will be paying him $200 a month.
Alderman Sanders.
Aye.
Alderman Coker.
Aye.
Alderman Smith, or Mayor Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Parton.
Aye.
Alderman Smith.
Aye.
All ayes.
Third item on the agenda was approached by Ms. Cissy McClendon and Mr. Andy Groves last week to look in the possibility of adding a tornado siren system similar to what Estill Springs had. There is some grants and things available we can do for that, like Estill Springs did, and I think it's expensive. Which part? Like about $100.
What I seen in the
Yeah.
papers, what I
Was
was.
that their part or for the whole
No,
thing?
I think they got a grant for it. But it's $100,000.
They're only paying $7,000.
Oh, this Estill is?
Yeah, they
Okay.
get about a little more than 120,000.
Okay.
But all they got to match is 6,800.
Okay, so Ms. McClendon and Mr. Groves was real expressing the need to liking this, so what I did, I appointed a committee, Mr. Parton and Mr. Groves and Ms. McClendon and the new administrator on this, along with, I didn't add, but if it's all right, Mr. Ross, our police chief. Roy knows the downtown stores. They'll have to be, where I said, kind of high place, maybe like the Methodist Church or the bank and all. This is not spending any money yet, it's just looking into it, the grant, working with Lori, and just giving them permission to form a committee and bring us, it may be a couple of months or so. But the tornado scares, they've really been scared about it.
We just need to come up with
Yeah.
something that where if you put out a warning,
Yeah.
the people start calling you,
Yeah.
where do we go to? Where do they go to? And that's the thing we need is,
And-
we need somewhere they can go to.
And from what I understand, it can be programmed like the bells in the new high school. If it were like a train derailment, maybe there'd be another frequency or something other people be educated on. It's something we could really use in this area if we could.
It's
you
not
know.
a bad thing.
Yeah.
when you get it.
So basically, I just need approval of that committee, and we will go back and they'll get with Lori. I'll contact Ms. Fisher and she'll meet with him and Roy. You can kind of be the chairman of it since you're the alderman. And folks, I need a motion to approve that committee.
Motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Culver, second by Alderman Sanders. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. There were no other items. Ms. Holland had asked to speak and she couldn't be here at the last minute. She sent this card, said, just thank you for the honor of being the Grand Marshal in the 2016 Christmas Parade. Decherd is a wonderful place to live, work, and raise a family. All of you are doing a great job in keeping Decherd the unique, thriving town it's always been. Sincerely, Gwen Holland. The parade was a real good success. I want to thank all the firemen, the policemen, the street workers, the water, everybody turned out to help. It took a lot to help, and I appreciate that. We've had a lot of compliments on that. I want to remind the aldermen, the city dinner will be Thursday at 11 to 1 in the annex building as well. That's all I had tonight. Do we hear a motion to adjourn?
I think I'm down to speak.
Oh, I thought you already had, I'm sorry.
I'd like to say again, because of the discrepancy between the handbook describing the city administrator's job And the ad in the Herald Chronicle on the November 11th edition, there was only one qualified applicant, and I will specify that it said, it lists in the handbook the university degrees that you could have. And then there was one added when it went into the paper, which I think was a discrepancy, that it said university studies, and that's not one that's listed in the handbook. I would urge the committee to put it in the paper again with the correct descriptions and submit it to a search engine to generate more applicants. We only had 3 applicants. And also, all the aldermen did not have the opportunity to hear all of the applicants. Thank you.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
It says down here, Alderman's communications, that's me, isn't
Yep.
it? Don has been sick, we all know that. And he told the mayor that he wouldn't be here, that he would be in Murfreesboro, and he was. Now, he came in when the other 2 folks had already been here and discussed, what they discussed. And Don didn't come in until the person that you appointed here, he came in and heard that one. I just wish that Don had been here to hear the other 2. I don't understand why, why Don couldn't have been here to hear the other 2 applicants. Unless he was, I don't know, unless he thought that it just wasn't necessary, which I think it was. But it wasn't necessary because it's been cut and dry. And, I'm sorry that this fella is going to lose his job elsewhere. We know where that is. And, to just put him in a job to have a job is not the thing when he's not qualified. This week, like I think Roy and I think he's not certified. But it's I'm just sad to see it turn out this way, but that's okay.
I'm sorry that I wasn't here full time. When you go to see a doctor, you don't ever know how much it's going to take before you get out.
And you did have the resumes, right, Mr. Cole?
Would you feel better if you had heard the other 2, or would it make much difference?
When I went through the papers and stuff, it wouldn't have made any.
It was a clear-cut case. This person that we chose tonight is just above and beyond. Case closed.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn the board meeting?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second.